Okay, Hi, good morning. I'm Kim. This is our essential emotions discovery discussion. And the next few weeks, we are talking about food as it relates to our emotions. It might have to do with some past behaviors and addictions, things that we're burning contracts. We're getting ready to clear it out of our life and use our holistic tools and things like that. And I have a guest, actually. It's you, Dina. My friend Dina Wolf, who's a very learned human, has she said she would join. So we've got lots of smart people on here that we can chat. So hey, Lucille, I think she's joining. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Great. We're just getting started.
Oh, good, thank you.
Yeah. So we're going to be chatting about blood sugar and our historical emotional response.
Okay.
And yeah, so basically, using oils and all the tools. So I'm just gonna present to you what I was thinking this morning, and then I will just, we can all just talk about it. And I'm
Okay.
sure Tina's got some good input.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna mute you real quick, and
Okay.
then to keep the recording clear, and then we'll keep going.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. So I was thinking about, well, I'll tell you what I've been doing as far as that's supporting me in my blood sugar emotional roller coaster. And it's been, I'm doing the doTERRA greens and fiber. I'm doing 1 scoop of each in cold water. So you fill up the glass with cold water, and then you put 1 scoop each. And then I use my hand mixer, or you can just use a knife or a whisk. And I drink that mid-morning or afternoon when normally I would be like thinking about cookies or carbs situation, So that's been a very helpful tool for me. And then I've been taking the adaptive calming capsules. So I take 1 in the morning and I take 2 at night. Not everybody needs that much, but I'm quite squirrely and full of ADHD. So it works for me. Some people just take 1 at night, but I need 1 in the morning. That's my most anxious emotional time because I'm worried about, the kids and, I have lots of feelings around getting started for the day. And so that's just what works for me. So they can be used as needed. So for me, that's helping keep my emotions on a keel. And I think that if you think of your body like a pool, well, I've got a pool, so of course I'm going to use that as an analogy. So you've got to, make sure the pH is correct. You've got to make sure all the things are correct. But for us, if my stress is high, that means that my adrenaline and my cortisol levels are pumping in my body. So now those are high. If I want those to go down, I need to balance my pool. So in adaptive, there's lavender, there's 80 milligrams of lavender. So that's going to bring up the serotonin. So that's going to be like adding, muriatic acid to my pool to make sure my levels or whatever my pool needs to make sure that it's going to be just right. Otherwise, if I leave my adrenaline cortisol cranked, then I'm going to start craving stuff because I'm like, how am I going to fix this? My body's asking for stuff, So this is my way of helping my the brain hormones and physiology. And I've also brought up this really cool curriculum that I bought, and it's from, her name is Carla McClellan. I'll show you the front of her book. You can get it from her website if you want to do it too. This is what's it called? The Dynamic Emotional Integration Workbook. you don't have to buy it if you don't want. I mean, I'm just gonna like show you pieces of it that I feel are appropriate for unraveling your history of eating and emotions. And I feel like it's helpful. So one of the
Excuse
things,
me, Kim, can you hold it up so I can take a screenshot of it again? Thank you.
you got it? Okay, so in this that I felt like today was an appropriate thing, I'm gonna screen share really fast. Oh, La Cherie is here, hi. Okay. Can you guys see this? Does it say burning contracts? Okay, good. So burning contracts, these are the belief systems in our head, you know, from how we were raised that we believe are true and we haven't really like thought about it, like our expectations and things like that of ourselves. A lot of us that we're finding it hard to accept ourselves is because there's expectations of who we're supposed to be in this stage of our life that may not be true. It's just something that a contract in our head. So we're gonna burn them. Burn the witch, burn the witch. So channeling all of your emotions and restoring your authentic nature. Burning contracts is an emotional channeling practice that helps you identify unconscious agreements and behaviors and release them consciously. To burn a contract, imagine unrolling a large blank piece of paper in front of you inside your boundary. Some people imagine that this contract is flat on a table while others imagine it in front of them. I was thinking like Little Mermaid. So as if it was on a whiteboard or a movie screen. Others like this contract to have depth, as if it's a basket. Sorry, I need glasses. That is not working for me. That can hold anything you put into it. You can also write your contract on an actual piece of paper if that works for you. I'm going to write mine down because I need the visual. You can project, write, speak, or think your problem onto this contract, whether it's emotional or intellectual, expectations, physical rules, spiritual ideas, or entire relationships. Use whatever emotion arises to move these ideas and behaviors out of unconscious habit and into your conscious awareness. Examples of what you might place on your contract: emotional expectations, how you're supposed to feel and express yourself. Intellectual rules, how and what you're supposed to think, what intelligence looks like. Physical rules, how your body is supposed to look and perform for others. Spiritual expectations, how you're supposed to meditate, pray, or behave. Entire relationship, images of yourself, your partners, and way of interacting. So I can send this to you guys so you can read more, but I felt that this was pertinent for body image, healthy body image, and what things you can let go of that aren't true about life and how you show up as you in this life, you know? So I know that used to make a lot of impact on my decisions. So yeah, so in these discussions or meetings, as far as group norms, when you share, please, if you can, identify what your needs are, if you would like feedback, or if you would like to just let us to listen. So that would be a healthy boundary that I will place for us. And if you can, because we're here just as ourselves, to not validate or comment on other people's shares if they've asked for no feedback. Great. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. You guys tell me what tools have been supporting you, or if you have something you'd like to share.
Hello?
Are you
Kim?
there? Yeah.
Okay. So I just left my appointment, my doctor's appointment. So I have you on speaker.
Okay.
Okay, but I do want to share from last week's Monday Zoom. I finally start releasing, which means I finally start crying. And I didn't realize that I was just on go mode after my grandfather passed away.
Mm.
And I was just like, soon as he passed, I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. Like, I didn't even give myself any type of time to actually sit and feel what I needed to feel because I was too busy wanting to stay busy to feel. And last week really helped me with the book that you, what is it? I have it right here. The Language of Emotions. It finally came in and I read some of the paragraphs and I had to stop and I cried, then keep going, cry. And I started applying the essential oils, like the tea tree, balance, having, and I feel like that heavy weight just really uplifted off my shoulders. And I just really want to just say thank you. And thank you to the women. I don't know if they're on this call that shared their experience. They feel like a whole nother person.
I'm so glad.
Yes. And if anyone have any other suggestions in regards to like grieving, and I would definitely be open-minded to whatever helped you in the past or current.
I had a suggestion. So when I feel sad, I feel it in my chest and I feel it in my solar plexus, which is like right here, below your rib cage. Where do you feel your sadness?
Right there in my solar plexus for sure. And there in my heart for sure, because I experienced a panic attack. So I know for sure I feel like my heart was like literally completely breaking.
That's where I would apply your oils.
Okay. Okay.
Because that's going to be really supportive. I use cardamom. That's like my go-to. Cardamom, rose, serenity, balance. Those are really good for help. Specifically, balance is really good for helping bring your heart rate.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's one thing that we do in my yoga meetings. It's really fun. We all say, let's ground and breathe for La Chirée.
Oh, I love it.
Then we all breathe for you. You guys ready? Okay, so we'll just take a breath in. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim.
And something else I wanted to ask you guys about is I want you to think about your cycle during the day of when you've noticed your sugar spikes and what is it that you're feeling at that time and where do you feel it in your body? When I feel hungry, it's usually related with anxiety. And I feel it in my solar plexus. So I'm kind of eating to soothe my anxiety. I don't know if anyone else has a similar, or something different.
Oh, I definitely agree with that one. Sugar is, yeah. I agree with that one. And that's so interesting that you say that, like when I'm having that moment like, oh, I just want something sweet. And I'm like, what am I feeling at this moment? Why do I want something sweet at this moment? Oh, I'm anxious about starting this new position at work. Oh, I'm anxious about this. Oh, I'm uncomfortable about, so now let me go get me a cookie. So that's definitely using that tool. I stop myself in the tracks, like, what am I feeling and why do I feel like I need to grab something sweet when I'm feeling this way?
Well, it's certainly how we're raised in America.
This is America.
Did you have any thoughts, Dina?
So I've noticed like if I get anxious, I do feel it on the chest. I notice like even maybe some heart palpitations, my chest feels heavy. It almost like my heart speeds up too. And in relation to blood sugar, I mean, diabetes runs in my family, so I've really worked hard, especially with the oils, for triggers, looking for triggers. So when I do feel the stress coming on, I like to, you know, of course we want to reach for something sweet, but I know that that's not healthy. So I've already kind of tried to train my brain not to go that route. And instead I reach for my Slim and Sassy, which really helps me curb the craving. So I notice like it goes away within 3 to 5 minutes. And then I don't really feel like I need the sugar or the cookie or whatever it is, the chocolate that I once thought that I needed to soothe. So that's been very helpful for me. I also, to slow down the blood sugar fluctuations for me, I've noticed that if I pair all my foods with protein, then that really helps me too. So I use the doTERRA protein powder quite a bit as well to help increase the protein. So then I'm not having the cravings as often. So even when I am under stress, I'm not having that. So it's been very, very helpful. So I hope that helps somebody.
Would you share what you put in your shake?
I actually just most of the time put water and ice. Rarely I'll blend it and I'll put berries in it. Sometimes if I am feeling like I want something more dessert-ish, I'll add some nut butter. I like sunflower butter. It tastes like peanut butter, but it doesn't have all the stuff peanut butter comes with, the sugar and all that. So it's a little cleaner. And then I'll put sometimes a handful of nuts in just so I can get some added protein and some brain benefits.
I like that. So you just use the shaker.
I just use the shaker quite a bit. I'm usually on the go. So the shaker works for me really well. I just leave the powder in the shaker and just add the water.
That's reminded me of something that, because I know that you travel a lot.
I do.
And that's a really good way to prepare, because I'm quite bratty when it comes to eating out. Like, because I was raised, you know, like anytime you leave town, you have to eat fabulous. And if I don't have things with me, like tools like that, then, you know, I'm going to start getting super angry because I feel like I'm not getting like my princess needs met.
So true. I have an app on my phone that helps you find food that's good for me. So it's like you can, I learned it from Stephanie, who it's the Happy Cow app. So you can find, you know, gluten-free vegan options. So it makes it so simple.
Would you
Wherever you're at.
type it in the chat for us?
Sure.
Thank you, Dina. I really appreciate it. So this lovely lady, she does scans. She's a nurse and you do functional medicine, right? So if you want her to like tell you what doTERRA products you need, she's your gal. So you meet up with her and she'll help you figure out like what is it that you need. So I find it like amazing because I can tell people what they need, but I mean, I'm not a nurse, you know. So I'm a, you know, colon therapist. I was once upon a time, but you know, just the information. I'm really grateful to have Dina in my circle and I can share her with you guys, my buffet of very smart humans. The pun intended for the eating class. So, what was I gonna tell you guys? Oh, I brought out spearmint and grapefruit too. So I've been diffusing these two in my kitchen. And it's really supporting like my feelings. I tend to bottle up a bit in my throat. And spearmint is to help with public speaking and communication. And where's my emotions book? I like using the app, but I've also got the physical book, The Essential Emotions, but I'll just share with you about spearmint real quick because I find it fascinating. SP. Oh, I went too far. This is why the app would be faster. Okay, for confident speech. Spearmint inspires clarity of thought and confident verbal expression. Individuals in need of spearmint may hide their thoughts, opinions, and ideas by withholding their voice. Spearmint encourages inner clarity about one's personal convictions and opinions. It then assists individuals in translating that inner clarity into words. And the reason I'm telling you about using that oil for confident speech is because I will totally eat my words. I'm like, I can't communicate this. So it's lunchtime. Hobbits, second lunchtime. Spearmint promotes confidence in expressing oneself verbally, especially when speaking in front of groups of people. It helps individuals create an effective stage presence by infusing them with confidence. Spearmint also encourages individuals to take a public stand on behalf of their values and opinions. Spearmint can be a helpful remedy for those who struggle with communicating clearly for a wide range of reasons, from feeling scattered and inarticulate or stumbling over words. It assists individuals in becoming emotionally clear about what they want to say and then saying it. In short, spearmint can help individuals access their inner light and convey that light to the world with clarity and confidence. So building our self-esteem and buoying our soul so that we can share what we want to share and then not feel bad about ourselves and then use food as a soothing point. So does anyone have any comments? So unmute yourself. Oh, you're unmuted, Lucille.
Yes. I've had a lifelong problem with that, of expressing myself. And to this day, it's a huge problem. It's hard to speak up because my mind does go scattered, and all the words, I can't find the right words, and I can't find me of what I want to say so that I can stay on topic or whatever, because there's just like too much inside. So I'm definitely going to try the spearmint, and I'm grateful for that.
Good. Thank you, Lucille. Let's take a breath for Lucille. So we'll ground and breathe through Lucille. Breath in and exhale. So I have some journaling questions for you guys. I can write them in the chat, or if you want to type it in your phone or write it down. I would like to know where in your body that you feel hungry. So you might write a little person and then write that down. How do you know that you're hungry? Those are some interesting points of view, because it's not always your stomach, is it? And I want to know what your eating schedule looks like in a day. So the reason I'm thinking that, let me share my screen. I sent myself a little, I don't know if you can see it because I moved. Does it say chakras? Yes? Okay. This is from Carolyn Miss, or I always say her name wrong. MYSS. And I find it interesting that where we have issues physically in our body, and also I'm wondering if where you feel hungry is that same place. So I tend to live about 3 and 4. And my physical issues live around 5. I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Or go ahead, Lucille. You have to, oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm definitely hungry in 6 and 7. My stomach can be very, very full. And then I could be hungry too, I think in my throat, and it feels like my body, like I haven't eaten, but I'm full, I'm satisfied. But my throat up, my mouth is hungry. And I probably don't feel like I have energy. When I eat, and I'm pretty good about what I eat, but sometimes I'll take too long in the morning. I'll have either fruit and a protein, coconut milk, walnuts as a regular thing in the morning, and then I'll get really hungry about 10, like I'm gonna crash. And so I'll have more protein, but if I miss that, I'm way too hungry. So if it's 1 or 2, then I overeat. And then that might be all I eat for the day, but I don't feel good.
It's interesting. Do you think that you could write it down to help yourself, like kind of like a food diary for the next week, and just write your feelings next to it?
I've done that a lot. I don't stick with anything, but I've done it, and I have actually notes for like a few months at a time, but I find I hold too tight to everything, just trying to do it all perfect and getting everything written down, and then I burn out.
Yeah.
And then I burn out, and then I can't go back to it.
Ooh, Lucille, this is a good contract to burn. Let's burn it. Sorry, I'm all excited. Okay, so this is like your perfectionism, you know? So like, who taught you to be this, like who said you had to be this perfect?
My mother, and I just came to realize this morning when I was writing myself. I
Huh.
came to the conclusion, if I could do it just right, I'm going to fix our family. And that my role was to be there for the other people in my family, but I didn't take care of myself. So here I am, 68, barely learning to take care of myself and saying it's okay to. And that's a hard one, is accepting that, because if somebody else calls, I'm happy and I'm jumping and ready to do it, because that's a part of me that I made so much a part of me, that it's easy to then forget me. And then, you know, when I try to focus on, it's a lot of work. So I've left the house today to go walking, and saw your invitation for this. So I'm at Hesperia Lake now, so I can be clear. And my plan is to keep walking, and I started swimming last week. And so I knew I need movement, but I never gave myself permission for movement. It's like, nope, that's a luxury. You got work to do.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sharing, Lucille. Aw, yay. So that's a good one. Let's write it down. Write down the expectation you have on yourself for everyone and say, oh, is this even needed? No, probably not. Cool. So I really love this topic, and I'm so grateful that we are available and ready to do this work for ourselves, because it's going to lead to ability to feel the whole spectrum of our emotions safely and know that we don't have to be afraid to feel them. So I'm like, I think I have like a boner for Dina right now, because like she's like, so sorry, I'm so gross. She like does all this cool stuff, and then she did my design for my one of the couple of pages in my ebook. And so I want to show it to you guys because it explains how to feel your feelings. I said that joke to Charlotte one time in a group of 50 Mormons. It was awesome. Okay, hold on, let me share this. Oh, I am sharing. Stop share screen. Okay. I saved it here. Can you guys see where it says feel your feelings guide? Yeah. Okay. So there's something I learned, and it's called Tonglen meditation, or the art of experiencing. I mentioned it last week, but I'll just say it again here. Because it's such a beautiful design. So we can process any of the full spectrum of emotions using this method without fear. When you feel a strong emotion, invite your higher power to stay with you during the experience. No, you are not alone. This is the difference between when you feel something strong and you feel alone. If you talk to God in that moment, then you can feel like safe. Then breathe in more of the emotion you're feeling. Example, you feel hurt that you were not invited to a dinner. Breathe in more of the hurt, then exhale compassion for yourself. Next, breathe in more of the hurt, then exhale compassion for all the people who felt excluded and hurt. Make it bigger and bigger until the emotion has dissipated. This is a powerful method to move emotion out of your body. So I feel like most people have not been able to safely feel their feelings. We've cut half of our emotions into the negative spectrum and the other half into positive feelings. So only the positive ones are socially acceptable. And so we've decided in our head, and I think most people have, or most women, I don't know, that if I feel negative emotions, then I should be ashamed of myself. And I shouldn't feel those things. And so I will stuff them down. So like LaSharai was saying, she had grief and she decided to keep herself busy. And she didn't feel the feelings, and her body was like, guess what? We're going to do it. But letting herself cry is such a gift. That's your body saying, hey, let's relieve some stress. This is a gift for you. This is how we're going to help get that feeling down. So when we receive our emotions as gifts, that's when we can make those changes. So let me share the other page. So for anger, the gift is honor, conviction, healthy self-esteem, proper boundaries, healthy detachment, and protection of yourself and others. For anxiety, the gifts are foresight, focus, task completion, procrastination, alert system. So, and the list goes on. I just find it so amazing. So if you guys go to Carla McClellan's website, and you can download her emotions guide, and it just tells you, I have it here. I have it laminated. But there's an actual printed version. I think I actually have it here, actually, if I could just open it. File, open file. Wait, I think I put emotions chart. There it is, open. Do you guys see a rainbow chart? Yes, you see it? Where it says anger, apathy, shame, hatred. So that she's got like a weekly tracker, like you can put, if you felt this that day. And then here's the like the gifts and skills of each emotion. Yeah, so I feel like this is very helpful so that you can see all of your emotions have a message, and it also has an action step. So then we can just start understanding what it is that our body is telling us and what our emotions are telling us, and we don't have to be afraid of them. Go ahead, Lucille.
Can you move it a little bit up? I want to be sure to get resentment on there.
Yes, and I can send this to you so that you,
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
yeah, because I printed it out. I have it quite handy. Do you guys have any other questions or comments before we close?
Kim,
Yes.
I said I wasn't gonna talk, but I am.
Yes.
Of course, I lost 100 pounds and my A1C went from 8.5 to 5.2. But one of the things that was my biggie was I wasn't eating enough food and I wasn't eating it in right combinations.
Mhm.
Dr. Terry Wall's book, The Walls Protocol, was huge for me as far as learning to intermittent fast and what foods to eat and eating the rainbow and everything. And the other big thing was I make nasal inhalers with different blends, like one I call Beat the Binge and one I call Curb Your Cravings, and carry those around so that, you know, when I'm not really hungry, but my emotions are saying eating, sometimes they help to curb that emotion.
Oh, would you be willing to share your recipe and your nasal spray?
Yeah, the Beat the Binge is 3 drops of fennel, 4 lavender, and 4 lemongrass. And the Curb Your Cravings is 4 cinnamon, 4 fir, 2 peppermint, and 5 orange.
Would you mind texting those to me and then I can share it in the,
Yeah,
within-
I'll be glad to.
I really appreciate it.
What I did, I just Googled nasal inhaler recipes,
Mhm.
and it came up with like a whole list of essential oil nasal inhalers and that's basically what I pulled off of.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Well, let's all breathe for our friend Donna. So we'll take an inhale and we'll exhale. Thank you, you guys. Good job showing up for yourself today. So we'll see you next Monday. Bye.